Wood signing with the Lakers means. I think I like the signing because his skill set, it just gives the Lakers options. Like we've been hearing about all the two big lineup shit and this and that. Before your only real chance of doing so is with Hayes, who's a lob threat and somewhat of a rim runner. But now you got Wood, who gives you, more offensive flexibility. And the Lakers having only two
On.
players to average 20 points and 2 blocks a game, with one of them now being on a vet min. I have a hard time getting mad with that. Now, of course, the caveat is like, whether or not he's a starter or a backup, because I'm not co-signing Woods signing. Like, you could do worse with Woods starting, but like, if he starts, like, you tell me Prince, Rui, Reddish, Vando, like even fucking Christie, all of them coming off the bench, like that's not happening. So like, I know players are gonna get squeezed from the rotation because you have more or less like 12 to 14 playable guys on any given night. But going to Braun with two big lineups squeezes your wings way too much. So for me, my starting five is still D'Lo, Reeves, Braun, Rui, and AD because I think that gives you the best balance. But what Wood gives you is that he gives you more options. Like literally, when we look at our big situation last season, we were in fucking hell. I don't know if y'all remember, but I keep citing this shit. On Christmas Day, we literally had a 5 guard lineup out there. I saw Kendrick Nunn trying to box out Christian Wood. We were playing 5 guard lineups. We had Wenyen Gabriel, who's tall.
Fun
He was
times.
tall, he had hustle, and he had energy, but he was grossly undersized. We had Thomas Bryant, great offensively in terms of finishing, but the dude couldn't defend a snail in quicksand. And Damian Jones, like fuck, man. We were in hell. So like in cases like
I forgot we had Damian
Damian
Jones.
Jones, bro.
Nigga
So
I
was trash.
forgot
so
about
look, in
that.
cases like so
My
like
agenda
They used to wear
flop.
them dumbass
so
sleeves.
like
That was
He
that was
cooking to
dangerous
Utah though.
no
defenders.
Couldn't do that
so
here.
They went to Utah,
so
started
like in
playing
cases
What?
better.
like
Did he
these,
drop like 25 on
Yes,
us, bro?
nigga hit like
bro,
five
that bro
threes,
was
bro. That
hitting
shit was so
three
fake.
after three against
Hey,
us
look,
too.
in a
You literally
must-win
just
game,
lied.
bruh, he
Cooked the shit
cooked.
out of you.
Crazy, but
Exactly. Chris
listen,
Dunn.
in cases like these, like I truly believe signing the most talented guy available. Like I saw so many people on this app thirsty for a big that I saw people turking for fucking McGee before he signed with Sacramento. Like that shit was
Oh,
nasty.
bro.
But overall, man, listen,
Two-time
I think
champ.
this was the icing on the cake for a summer for Rob because you bring back your young players on team friendly, reasonable deals. You lock up 80 long term. You sign a bunch of low risk, high reward guys. And like was mentioned before, I forgot who mentioned it, but the Lakers signing veteran minimum players. Like, look, Wood averaged 20 points and 2 blocks as a starter last season, and no team wanted him. So I think if he can prove that he can be a contributor to a championship winning team or a championship caliber team, he can potentially, set himself up for another long term deal. Now, I'm not really concerned about the playoffs because his defense is still kind of, it can be touch and go. So I don't know if he's going to be playoff rotation ready, but I'm just concerned about the regular season grind. So I think Christian Wood is, the right person to fit the bill. So overall, man, I think Rob Pelinka can take a bow. And like Coach Rome said, I think this team doesn't have any excuse provided that their main guys are healthy because we pretty much have what we need. Like maybe the shooting situation might can be a bit better, but still, even with that, like I still like our options, man. So overall, like we have depth on the wings, we have options at the big, we have two top 10 players still. I mean, number 18 is inside, man. Let's fucking get it.
Nah, absolutely, bro. Appreciate you also, Richard, just for pulling up. It's been a minute. But yeah, no, like I mean, obviously, I think regular season is a different animal when it comes to like how hard I think a guy like LeBron James will go in regards to just conservation. I think he now has a roster where he doesn't have to fucking go crazy and like
Or
backpack the
play.
team for 90% of the fucking season, and I think that's going to help him in the playoffs, like in a playoff setting. I'm looking at this team from a playoff perspective. Obviously, you have to get to the playoffs, but I also think the team's deep enough to where they can kind of tread water throughout the West. And even though the West is going to be fucking insane, I still think they have enough, right? Like because there's going to be games where LeBron just doesn't play straight up. There's going to be games where AD doesn't play straight up, and so I think I think Rob did a good job of like also building a team for when these dudes aren't necessarily
And,
playing. Because let's be for real, man, these niggas aren't playing
and,
82. Like
Rome,
we know they're not,
Rome,
right?
one
Like,
last thing.
and I think that matters. And I think Austin Reeves kind of having like a springboard to the confidence where he's, bro. Now I could be. I'm the third best player on this fucking team, right? Like we didn't have that last year. We didn't have you know D'Lo at least having a full training camp under his belt, a full season under his belt to kind of acclimate himself and like fit around everyone else. Like we didn't have a training camp period. We built this team in February, the one that went to the Western Conference Finals. And so now I'm looking at it like, not only are you building, throughout the regular season, and you can kind of tread water and not depend on AD and LeBron to be Superman and Batman, but when you get to the playoffs, now you have so much different, like, you have so much versatility you can throw out at any given team. Like, seriously, bro.
And Rome,
There's
and
going to be
Rome,
games where, like, dude, we might throw fucking Max Christie on the best perimeter guy, right? Like, we might throw out Vando might have to start, a game where we're playing a team where we need him to guard the best wing player. We might have a game where, all offense, bro, Rui, get the fuck in there. We might have a possession of a 5-minute stretch where AD and Christian Wood are on the floor at the same time. LeBron's not on the floor, right? Like, there's situations now where we're built for so many different situations, and that's where you can be excited as a Laker fan, because you look at how we won in 2020, and it was versatility, right? I saw series in the playoffs where Markieff Morris was a fucking 5, right? Like, I seen Dwight Howard being a fucking integral part of a series, like it's shit like that. Fucking the last against Miami, bro. Alex Caruso ended up being a star. Like, we just have that level. I really do believe we have that level of versatility, at least from a championship perspective. They just got to put it
and
together,
Rome,
bro.
one real quick thing before I drop. I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be concerned about seeding either, because last season, as the 7th seed, we went up to the 2nd seed Memphis Grizzlies and we eliminated them in 6. And then the next series, we went to the defending champs' house and we beat them in 6. So I'm not saying seeding is irrelevant, like you want to avoid the play-in, but the point is you want to get to the regular season in one piece. So, and I think we have the roster to do so. As long as LeBron and AD has a roster makes sense, I am taking this team over anybody. Against Denver, I mean, I don't expect D'Lo to average 6 points on that kind of efficiency again. So I think we have a team built for it, man. I truly do. I think we have what we need.
Yeah, it doesn't even take like a lot of detail, bro. Like, our only bigs on the fucking roster was AD and Jackson Hayes. You just signed
LeBron.
a fucking and LeBron and Rui,
Tristan
according to
Thompson.
Darvin. But like, you just signed like a solid fucking playable big, bro. Like, that's enough for me, bro. I swear. I just needed an extra big on the team because there was only 2 niggas, so that's enough with the signing for me. Not even mentioning the shit he does well on the court as well. So people fixate on his flaws, bro. Unless he's starting playing heavy minutes, I really don't care, bro.
Talk about his flaws if you want, bro. He's a 38%
Exactly.
3-point shooter on high
Talk about
volume that can
his
block shots
positives
and play
too.
alongside AD and also back him up. That's all that matters. Honestly, that's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters. Like, I'm not concerned about
James. You ain't give Obama that courtesy when we got him in the trade.
Nah, that's a fake space right there.
Talk.
Dog,
Nigga, Christian Wood, they got a hit song
Obama
named
just
after
was
him.
not good.
Thank God, bro. That's something.
Hey,
OMT is on you, bro.
Chicago, put it on
I'm not
Chicago.
speaking. I'm not
Chicago, where
speaking.
you at, bro?
Got that nigga
He
hemmed up.
cutting OMT. I just don't want to speak on my
I
mom
got
at all, bro. OMT, you can go ahead. This nigga gone, but not Chicago. You can go ahead, I guess.
What's that?
Hey man. Hey, BG,
Dog,
bro,
you're crazy.
I did not want Bamba. Like, I was really rooting for Wood the whole time.
Hold on,
Because
guys.
This nigga at the trap, bro. You good?
Fucking bro.
because BG was
This nigga
saying
working
like
pies right now.
BG was saying like, yo, Biyombo can play great defensively. He's my backup big. I'm not worried about him scoring. But like Rome said, bro, AD and Brian not playing all 82. Like, I would like a big that can score. You feel me?
AD's not.
Like, all right, bro. I would like a big that can score. So, yeah, bro, I'm glad we got Wood, bro. Ain't no excuse. I kind of already like this team stacked up against pretty much.
Bro, y'all can't call him Christian.
He said he glad we got Wood. What's
His
wrong?
last name
we got
Wood, so I'm
I'm
gonna call
just
him
saying,
Wood.
I'm glad we got Wood
dog,
too, nigga.
Y'all
Man,
crazy.
Christian.
This ain't Seawood, dog. Like, shit.
Nah, that's worse.
That is worse. I ain't gonna lie.
Chicago.
Dumbass nigga said
Turn
Seawood.
this down a little
That-
bit.
That
Chicago.
was all right. Nigga, watch your mouth.
Fucking teenager.
Wait, hold
Chicago,
on,
I got a
Rome.
question for
Rome,
you.
Mason, does this
Hey,
mess up
give-
your
give me-
prediction of Cam Reddish dropping 30 whenever Brian out? Wasn't that you that said that?
That was never me. Don't even quote
I'm
me
tripping.
in the same sentence.
That was
so I'm
Gerald.
tripping.
Don't
All
even
right.
quote me in that bullshit in the same
That was
sentence. That
Gerald.
never happened. I barely
All
be on
right.
these goddamn streets to be saying that
Hey,
shit.
wait,
Next.
talk about Chicago though. On some real shit, I have a question for you because
James
obviously,
probably said that dumbass shit.
resident AD fans here. So I have a
Yeah.
question.
Dude, you
So
say you going back
Yes.
to Dallas?
no, hold on.
Fans.
So AD obviously he
We
extended.
all take L's. You feel me?
He had a contract extension this summer, and he's going to be on the team for the foreseeable future. So essentially, you know, even when he decides to hang it up, AD will technically be under contract, for the Lakers. So, do you think that a move like this kind of also appeases Anthony Davis, who like we've seen on the record, like he don't like to play center fucking all 48 minutes he's on the floor. And I know that's a controversial take nowadays, but at the end of the day, I think when you surround him with a dude that he can essentially play alongside of, at least in stints, not to start or anything, but in stints, like AD and Christian Wood could objectively like they could play next to each other, right? It's not far fetched to say
Yeah.
they could share the floor at the same time. Do you think this kind of move
Easily.
appeases a guy like Anthony Davis, where like it's something that he's wanted and it's something that now he has at least that they could throw out there? So like if it's needed, do you think that was a move kind of made for AD, or do you think it was just we just got to get the most talent available?
Nah, that's a fact. And like people not gonna want to hear it, bro. But I think Jackson Hayes was like the first part of that. Cause like I look at it in like opposite aspects. Like defensively, you could throw Hayes out there and like let AD, you feel me, play a little bit of like the zone type watchman role and like let him take some of the blows on
Yeah, for
defense. And
sure,
then
for sure.
offensively, it's the same idea. Like you got a shooter who's also a big on the floor to space it a little bit. Like I just think they both, like you said, Mark Gasol, and then probably I'll give you JaVale McGee. Like you just got a version of two guys he worked well with at the same time.
Rome, can I answer that question too? Actually,
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
first off, how is everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Um, so for me, like personally, like after what I saw in the playoffs, the first thing I said was, and this is no shade, like I don't want it to be like it's a bad thing. I was like, hey, listen, hey, I don't, hey, 80 at the 5, okay, like Joker clearly bigger, whatever, cool. It's this is his okay. This is his area. Joker at the 5. It looks like we can't win with 80 at the 5. I personally believe that we probably could, but I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we could win with AD at the 4 because if AD's at the 4, he's probably the best 4 in the world, or at least top 2, and he's probably one of, if not the best two-way player in the league. And that's when we were at our best. So I think this gives us that versatility. And it's really just that. Like, if we play a small team, we can put AD at the 5 and let him roam. Like, that's what he did against Golden State. If we play a team like Memphis, imagine AD comes out and you drop in Christian. Like, there's so many things that we can do because Christian Wood doesn't have to give you that same defensive versatility as AD does, as long as it's not a fantastic, humongous drop off. And Goods, I'm so happy that you're here because there were people that told me that Anthony Davis was going to get played off the court by Jarrett Jackson fucking Jr. and the other guy whose name I fucking forgot, who's the two big
Good, you
lineup
say that
in
shit, bro?
Memphis. I remember Goods asked that question before
But
the
that
playoffs.
nigga,
He
no,
said, "Hey, do you guys
that
think
nigga,
Anthony
Hold
Davis
on,
will get played
good.
off the
Fight
Good,
fucking
back,
say
court
good. Say
good.
like
that
Jarrett
shit, bro.
Good
fucking
ain't say
Jackson?"
that.
Do you
Good
remember
did
you
not
said
say
that,
that,
Goods?
No,
Because
dog.
I
Come
do.
on,
I
good.
remember you
Good
said that.
ain't say that.
Anyway,
No way,
back
good said
back
that
to
shit,
Good ain't
bro.
say
back to
that.
what I
Wait,
was saying.
Jared?
like
No
keep
That's
it.
good,
wild
bro.
too.
Back. We're gonna Euro that.
There's no way I
I'm
don't
just
believe
saying,
it. I don't
like
believe
the
that.
questions, because it, even though it was a blasphemous
Even
thing to
that
say,
play.
the principle of his question wasn't necessarily wrong because he was saying that AD really is the only serviceable big that we had, and if he got in foul trouble, things like that, it was a decent question. Ludicrous, but it was decent. Now that question is there with Jackson Hayes, and with Christian Wood. Also, Coach Rom, like you said, offensively, it opens up AD so much more. If you want a two big lineup, cool. Even if not, like if you want to have AD take a break on defense and just have Christian do it, or have Jackson Hayes be a lob threat or anything like that, offensively, it opens it up spacing wise. This gives us, we can do anything we want. And when you can do anything you want, lineup wise, defensively wise, offensively wise, teams can't attack you any which way. And I think that, the only way that we could lose last year, we lost. Like there was a big teams could shoot on us. Like not teams. Denver shot a ridiculous amount. Their big played better than our big did. There's not many bigs that could play better than AD, and there's not many teams that could shoot overall defense. That forced us to go find better guys. We did. from a roster standpoint, I don't think there really is a question. People were saying, I don't know if y'all remember, people were saying, like, I don't know why we're making such a big deal about the Lakers offseason. There's no way that you can't say we didn't win the offseason at all. Like, adding Christian Wood to this team literally makes it to where the regular season is, like you said, Coach, we just got to get through it. I don't care if we're a top 3 seed. I don't care if we're a top 5 seed. I don't give a fuck. Get me through the regular season with AD and Bron healthy. I don't care who plays. I don't care what the lineups are. Just make it look
I
good.
can't hear shit. I'm gonna drop and come
All
back.
right, Coach. Just make it look good because coming into the playoffs, we
You
beat the
gotta
number 2.
call.
Also, like, even with the number 2 Memphis Grizzly thing, both Memphis and Golden State, remember, had the 2 best home records in the NBA. So it wasn't like we just beat a 2 seed and the defending champions. We beat a 2 seed and the defending champions that both cut their teeth that season on winning at home. And we walked into their house and beat them both.
Not taking no nigga that cuffed Yasmin Lopez serious. Sorry.
So good. Did Anthony Davis get played off the court against Memphis?
Good, you did
Who
not say
did that?
that.
Who
Good, please
did
say
that? Hey,
that.
hold on, Goods.
Dog,
Who
that's
did
some hating
that?
shit. Hey,
Goods
Rome,
did not
bring,
say
No,
that.
bring
Goods.
Zay
I
up. I
swear
know
to
if
you.
he said the
Ask him
word.
yourself.
Yeah, I
Ask him
brought
if
it
he
back.
said
I brought
that.
it back.
Goods, did you ask the question?
I know
Goods,
that
did you
Vince
say
Smoke
Goods,
that,
got
did you
bro?
some.
back
Come
some
on.
stats one day? Did you
You must have
Good
said
randomly
say
D'Lo.
ask
that,
You
bro.
had to say
if
D'Lo,
Anthony
right?
Davis
Vince
would get
Vapor
played
when he
off the court
listens.
by JJJ and the other guy? I
Good to
really
say
truly
that,
forgot his
bro.
name. I'm not trying to be funny. The one
Even
that
Adams
LeBron
didn't play.
scored the
Don't
game-winning
count.
bucket on. That guy.
Hey, I'm dropping Mason. Gotta bring Vince Smoke up.
No. What the fuck, nigga? I gotta talk, nigga. What the fuck?
Gonna cry, bro?
Is that a yes or no, Goods?
I hate this bitch ass nigga,
Nah, I
man.
don't remember that,
I do.
bro. You
It's
gotta
a recorded
for me.
space. You know that, right?
Yeah, go get the recording,
There's
bro.
no need to get the recorded. Everybody hears know that you
He
said
must
it.
have
Oh,
said
that's
D'Lo.
my
He
boy
had to
Home.
say D'Lo.
Proof,
I
Wait,
bro.
so
don't.
Bro.
does Reason FIBA, does his production put him past Giddy or not, Goods?
Oh shit.
You
Does
said
it?
Reeves and FIBA.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no. We're
does his
not. No,
production
no,
in
no, no, no,
FIBA?
no,
I'm
no,
just
no, no.
asking. Does it put him past Giddy?
We're not doing this, bro. We are not. I said we're talking about the
You thought you could
non-playing
mute
teams,
me on a
bro.
Reed subject
We
again?
are not doing this, bro. Please, please, bro. This is a Lakers space now. This is Lakers
New
space.
Abby Vince Smoke acting different.
We're not talking about the playing teams. So
How should I
we
get
gonna move.
first team
We
out
gonna
of
move on, bro. Yo, Felix, though, I appreciate it though, for real. Chicago waving his hand. What's up, Chicago? Where you at?
Hey, also just a reminder, AD has always thrived with the floor space and big. Think Mirotic back in the day. Think
that? Name
DeMarcus.
another. Name another.
The,
Think Mark
DeMarcus
Gasol.
That
Cousins.
was
I named
NBA,
3,
bro. He's
I
talking
bro.
dare you.
about
I dare you
five.
to name
DeMarcus
Marcus Gasol. They
Cousins,
play
I
for
Marcus
like
named
Gasol,
play like
3.
5 games together.
Marcus
Marquise
Cousins is not no
Morris.
fucking floor
Name
spacer,
3.
man.
Do
Yeah.
we keep going, James?
DeMarcus Cousins in the floor.
No
Oh
way.
wow.
2022
DeMarcus
Dwight
He's not a
Howard.
floor
Mirotic,
spacer.
Nigga,
Yo,
1.2
Marc
attempts.
Gasol, and Mo
Miles Turner
Bamba.
in 2025.
Nigga
I
said
ain't gonna lie.
Miles.
Meritage could shoot that motherfucker.
Nigga sit with his
Oh, we
legs
could move
crossed.
on
He
with
mid.
Marriage
LeBron
was
and Miles
spacing
fucking
that
Turner,
bitch.
LeBron,
bro.
But
LeBron.
I'm
Nah,
with Chicago
Mirotic
on that though.
like
Like
that.
seriously, I think when you have a stretch like big next to AD, just a stretch 4. I mean, whatever. Especially when he's the small ball 5, like it just opens up the floor for Anthony Davis. I think the last couple of years we've seen teams really collapse on AD and LeBron James, and I just don't think you just can't do that. Like think about a lineup seriously. Like think about a lineup. Let's say LeBron's on the bench, and let's say we trot out D'Lo, Austin, Rui, Christian Wood, AD. Right? You can't
Damn,
go
D-Lo,
ahead and
Man,
double
yeah, yeah,
go
I'm
ahead
ready to
and
fuck
double
Wood,
with
AD
their
if you
game.
Yeah.
want, but like now
Say
you have
Gabe or
open
something,
shooters.
G.
But coach,
D-Lo, and
That
also
shit
with
giving
the
up
It's
one
that
like
type
I
of
pitch.
say
game
also
where
with
like
Gabe,
the
bro.
other
You
side,
gotta add a
coach,
defender
like
out there.
from a defensive
no,
perspective.
but I'm James. My point is just like there's
nah,
just
don't
Add no
instances
Offensively,
defender
now.
they
out there.
cooking
That's
for
what a
sure. You're
coach.
not stopping
Coach
that offensively.
AD.
Yeah,
But say
like
that
there's
You're
lineup
not
just
stopping
again.
that
situations now where
offensively.
like we just didn't have that luxury, James. Like we just didn't
Coach,
have
say
it
that
I
lineup
mean,
again.
AD stops himself
Sorry.
for
off all.
years.
Like I said, I just like
You
the
said
options, bro.
Rui,
That's right.
Yeah.
Reeves,
Chicago, how you feel about
AD.
it?
Bro, he's just tossing out a lineup, bro. No need to fix that
Yeah, I'm
shit.
not saying them niggas are gonna start.
No, no,
Like,
no,
come
no. I'm
on, bro.
not saying
LeBron
they're
would
gonna
need to
start.
end
I'm
the
saying though,
lineup.
like
gonna
even with
play
that
four.
lineup, like
I'm just
defensively,
saying, like,
Darvin
don't
Ham
you just
coaching the
have
year?
the
Nah, Goods is
versatility to
trying to
do
get a
things
hate
like that
in.
if you need to, like in a pinch. So
Niggas a Thunder fan hated, bro. Make no sense.
I don't know. I just think it's
Mm.
important, bro. I think it's important.
Check
I
that
think
nigga already.
people already sleep on what Christian Wood can provide, bro. Like honestly.
yeah.
Facts.
And that's
Niggas,
the
it's
last thing I
never
wanted
been
to say,
about if
coach.
he's good, bro. It's about like does the nigga fit? Is he good in the locker room? Is he one of those type of guys? Because the talent is there, bro. Nobody's questioning the
And
nigga
But
talent.
bro,
coach is
and what I
also
So
will say,
wrong.
like from a
no, I
I
was
mean,
defensive
gonna
there
say
have
what?
been
standpoint,
reports
like
saying he
I
would play
want to
defense.
see what also what does because it's not just a singular effect. Like Anthony Davis is going to be playing with Christian Wood, but Christian Wood's also going to be playing with AD. So like I expect his defense and offense to be better too because Anthony Davis is on the fucking court. Like that's what I expect those. If they play that 2 big
I
with
mean, he
Luka,
was
I expect
playing
that
with
to be
Lucas.
fucking havoc. If AD and Christian
That
Wood's on
nigga
the
can't
at the same time.
guard. But not
Kyrie was
what I
playing with
will
Luka.
say. Exactly.
Black.
His ass.
Niggas got cut by Gordon Hayward. But now what I will say is bro, I just think our shooting this year, bro. Like we always like bottom of the league, bro. Like, I gotta see us at least